Ayo, lovelies, it is I, myself, Kid V, with the heart of thunder, with the main shooter, Monty Ariez. You know who it is, it's the guys you love, it is the neighborhood. Alright, here we go!
Yeah, hey, it's all good in the neighborhood. Hey, break bread in the neighborhood. Hey, lunch stays in the neighborhood. Shoot shots all day in the neighborhood. Yeah, hey, it's all good in the neighborhood. Hey, break bread in the neighborhood. Hey, lunch stays in the neighborhood. Shoot shots all day in the neighborhood.
Ayo, lovelies. It is I, myself, Kid V, and of course, beside me is my co-host, my tag team partner, my brother, Monty Ariez. And you know what, Monty? I took what you said to heart.
That being?
That maybe I should just hit you with a regular joke.
Okay.
So, I got a question for you.
What's that?
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
No-ish.
No issue.
I ain't got no issues either, because it's all good in the neighborhood.
No issue. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was
I'll give, what, like a 6 out of 10? Maybe a 3 out of 5 even.
3 out of 10.
Wow.
Yeah, buddy.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Anyways, y'all know what today is. Today is Hump Day.
The big old Wednesday hump day.
Yes, sir. So you already know what that means, guys. It's another neighborhood pod. And now we are here bringing it to you guys visually again.
Right.
Hopefully we're going to keep this moving forward. We got a set day now to kind of like make sure that, you know,
Things actually start running smoothly again.
if we're going to put it on YouTube, it's going to look somewhat decent, you
Right.
know, and somewhat fun. And then being able to put clips out for social media, that's
Oh,
like
yeah.
the biggest thing, you know. It's hard to put like, it's hard to kind of like promote the podcast when we have no video and it's just like just audio. What am I supposed to do visually to draw the listeners in?
Right.
You know?
Because that's what everyone's looking at is all them shorts on YouTube, on Facebook, on TikTok. It's all just these short videos. And I think by kind of joining in with all that, we got ourselves a fighting chance.
Nah, yeah, man. So it's going to be good. It's going to be a good episode. Big thank you to everybody that checked out last week's episode, the 1 year anniversary, 1 year of the neighborhood pod, which is, crazy to even think of. You know what I'm saying? And it's wouldn't be possible without y'all. So big thank you again. We gained like 2 new followers since the anniversary. So it was really awesome. Thank you guys.
Already hitting the ground
We
running.
appreciate it so much. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't already, make sure you're following us. Make sure you're sharing it. If you're sharing it, tag us. Subscribe to the YouTube. You know, I haven't checked last time, actually. Let me check right now.
You know what? Go ahead. And if you do check out the YouTube, don't forget to go ahead and 1, 2, 3, ring that bell, ref, so you can get all the notifications sent right to your phone when we drop a new pod.
Hell yeah. 10 subscribers.
Whoa.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Hey.
Last time I checked, I think we were at like 7 or 8.
7.
Yeah.
We were at
10.
7 for
Thank
a
you
while.
guys.
Yes.
Thank you guys.
Many thanks.
So now we have to upload this. You know what I'm saying?
You making us work harder, and we appreciate that.
Nah, yeah. So it is going to be, we're going to follow up. We didn't get to finish all the questions from last week's episode for the neighborhood 1 year. So today's episode, we're going to touch that. We're going to touch Bad Blood. We're going to touch the Vince documentary. We're going to touch a couple things. I wanted to do it last episode, but we were still in the middle of the brackets.
Right.
So I didn't want to interrupt that or just drop another like mid like emergency, podcast to react to it.
Right.
And it took us a couple days to just finish that last episode. So just kind of our thoughts, our opinions. I mean, does it matter? No.
Nope.
But, kind of our takes on it, just being fans of the product. And again, him playing his role on there. And then Bad Blood being the most out of nowhere pay-per-view to return.
Right.
And with probably me going into Bad Blood, I wasn't expecting it to be like a big, I didn't I I felt it to be like a filler pay-per-view.
Got you.
That was the mindset I was going into it with. And for the way that it started to how it finished, to me, it felt like a PLE. Like, it didn't feel like a filler. Like, everything had purpose. Everything had reason on the show.
Yeah.
Again.
I mean, what can we say? They're knocking it out of the park right now. Crack.
You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be a good episode, man. So with that being said, y'all already know the deal, okay? If you clocking in at your 9 to 5, make sure you swipe if you got to swipe.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
You know what I'm saying? Clock in, make that money. If you could clock in 5 minutes before, do it. Make that extra money. It accumulates over time. But if you dare clock in, do what you got to do to settle in. If you're in the drive-thru, make sure you order pumpkin spice coffee, latte, whatever floats your boat there.
Make sure they get it right.
But make sure it's pumpkin because it's pumpkin season. Okay? Yes. I'm basic. And when you pull up and you take your coffee, you take your bagel, give that cashier a tip. And if they say we don't accept tips, tip them anyway.
And then tell them the neighborhood sent you.
Tell them we told you to do that. And when he asks or she asks or they ask, who are they? You're going to be like, one of the best podcasters / best tag teams in New England. Check them out. Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, Amazon. I don't know anymore.
I don't know. I was. That's why I was kind of hesitant on doing that.
I say Apple Pod.
Did you say Apple Pod?
I don't think so.
Yeah, say it.
Apple Pod. Let's get into today's episode.
I love that transition.
Why was you breaking over there, dude?
Was that?
Why was you breaking over there?
It was ask.
That's what I said. Ask.
Not the first 2 times.
What did I say?
It was like aska. It was like,
It's my slang, bro.
I know, but I loved it.
You was laughing at
I know, because I find it endearing.
You're okay. Anyways,
I just love the things that make you you.
Let's talk about the weekend a little bit.
All right.
It's the middle of the week. Hopefully we can bring you guys some entertaining stuff if you need an upper. We had Impulse Pro Wrestling.
Yes, we did.
Friday, Vermont. It was fun. I'm still hurt. So, we finagled the bagel. I ended up reffing the match. And we got the dub.
Of course we got that
the
dub.
dub.
With the APW tag teams on the line, too.
Tag teams, APW Tag Team Championships.
That's what I said.
You said tag teams.
See, I
Put some
found
respect on it, bro.
I found your little slang thing, your little stumble.
That's not,
endearing.
but mine is slang.
Right.
Mine is slang and where I come from.
Okay.
Yours is just messing up the
Yeah,
words.
mine's my brain being mushy after all these years and not learning how to say things right. I found it endearing. And then you go ahead and attack me like this.
All right, bro. All right. I'm over it. But that was fun. Good time. And then Saturday we had training. Did that. And then we didn't watch Bad Blood.
Yeah, because we kind of got back in the middle of it.
Yeah, and then for some freaking reason, Peacock doesn't have, you're not allowed to start a live event and then rewind it.
Right.
Even mid-event. I don't know why. There's, I feel like the WWE Network used to do that. Did it all the time.
Yeah.
I feel like other places that stream live could do that.
New Japan used to do that.
Yeah, so it's just come on, bro. So then I purposely stayed off of social media to, not watch any spoilers because I wanted to see. I was hearing rumors, and finally came up in the morning. I told Kid to wake up. It's time to,
Time to go watch Bad Blood.
Yeah, I told him it's time to get going and clack some cheeks. You know what I'm saying? What is that I said?
You said clap some cheeks.
Yeah, I said that though, right?
Did you?
I was like, wake up, bro. It's time to rise and shine and clap some cheeks.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I was asleep. I was asleep. I don't know what you said.
Put that on the T-shirt.
Put that on the T-shirt. That's going to be the first neighborhood pod tee.
Yeah, rise and shine.
Clap some cheeks.
Clap some cheeks.
That'd be a great actual T-shirt. I'm not going to lie.
Right?
Let's do it.
All It's like on the verge line, you know.
It really is. But at the same time, the podcast, I feel like the podcast,
Because you could be like, clap cheeks.
Right. Or you
Rise
know
and
what?
shine.
Just a
Clap
picture
some
of you
cheeks.
slapping me,
You know, slapping some cheeks.
trying to wake me up.
I'm waking up. Slapping some cheeks.
Yep.
You know? You take it how you want to take it. It's on you. Dirty. Disgusting. But yeah, so we watched it. Let's get into it, man.
All right. Starting with the bad blood.
Yeah. So it started it off hot, first of all. Hell in a Cell.
Right?
Didn't think there was gonna be as much blood.
No, I don't think anyone did.
And I was like, oh shit. Yeah. I think we're out of the PG era, like officially.
I think so. I mean, a PLE, I know you can get away with a lot more, but like...
Nah, because like, I think it's slowly building to obviously Netflix in a couple months.
Right.
So I think this was really testing the waters on making that move and kind of changing WWE to that direction. But here's the thing though, like WWE, I noticed is that people shit on AEW because AEW does the same shit on a like weekly basis.
Right.
WWE kind of does it, but it's not as often. So when it happens, it's like, oh shit, because you're not used to seeing this type of stuff on this product. So when it happens, it's like you're more drawn and it matters more.
Right.
So I think that definitely added to it. I don't think Drew was supposed to be cut up as much as he did.
No.
Did you see online the staples?
How many staples was that?
I think it was like 17 or some shit like that.
Jeez.
I could be off, but I'm pretty sure someone told me 17.
He was going.
So like, I was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
You know, because the funny thing is that I noticed was because the ref was trying to do that a lot last year, or no, it was like maybe 2 years ago when Edge was right at the end of Edge's run with WWE.
Yep.
Recently, he had the match with Finn Balor. I think Finn got cracked open, and like they literally forced Edge and them to stop.
Oh, and
like he'd have to wait until it stopped bleeding, and then they started going, and then it started gushing again, and then they had to separate again.
Wow.
Yeah, they did it like 3 different times, and it was like terrible. So I was like, I noticed that they didn't do that this time.
Right.
Do you think Punk's was a gig?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think Punk's was.
Yeah, for sure.
I think Drew's was some kind of accident.
Yeah. No, definitely because the way that it cracked, and then you see.
Oh yeah.
You see it on social media. If you ain't check it out, man, check it. Actually, pull it up. Mirror the. I think you can mirror the screen.
We'll try.
Never mind. It's fine,
Okay, we won't.
It's fine. Because kids gonna mess it up, dude. I can't do this. Oh yeah, let's try to bring it up, and kids gonna be like, oh, even though it's easy.
I will admit the technology part of this is not my speciality.
But yeah, it was really big. So for me, I don't think that was a gig. And it was just so nutty,
dude. It was a well-paced match for.
I think they went like an hour, bro.
It felt like they went on a long time, but at the same time,
it didn't feel that way.
It felt like everything was just going.
Yeah, it was like the timing on everything was good, and then I noticed before Punk gigged, whether he gigged or not. Obviously, I noticed this one thing where when it happens, they walk away.
Yeah.
Get reaction. So all the attention is drawn there, you know, and not so much to, you know, the other one.
Right.
So I think that's where I was like, okay, that's a gig. But with Drew, I was like, that's kind of crazy.
Right.
But all in all, the match was really freaking fun.
It was. It felt exactly how it was supposed to. Like 2 men just entered the devil's playground.
Yeah, it was insane, dude. And big ups to them, bro, because that was some of the spots they did in there, like that you know, the Claymore.
Oh, which one?
The last one.
The last one?
The only one that really was like,
okay, right, but there was technically 2.
The other one was on the ground. Which one would you remember?
Obviously, I remembered them both. That there were 2 of them. I'm sorry. Technically, am I wrong? The answer is no. Okay. You liked the Claymore?
Yeah, no, the spot.
Yeah.
Where he landed on his spine on the steps.
Yes.
That's the one I'm talking about.
Right, and that's nutty.
Okay.
I liked the when they were on either side of the turnbuckle and they went for that suplex.
Oh, the suplex to the outside was for it being such a tight space.
Really tight.
I'm like, fudge, dude. So what would you rate that match? 1 out of 5?
4.5.
4.5?
4.5.
Yeah, I'd say a 4.5 too.
Yeah, that was. I had a lot of fun. I actually really enjoyed just watching the match and let it do its thing.
Yeah, yeah. I think the pacing and everything was very, very well, and I think like it was a match that had so much like anticipation behind it, and it was like there was nothing on the line.
Right. Besides pride and just.
That's it. It was
Right.
like it was just a blood feud, and it was just really it was such a good blood feud that I feel like we haven't seen something like that in like a long time in WWE.
How long did they build that one up for?
I think
That started at Mania last year, right?
I think honestly it started at Rumble,
Okay.
and then continued on to Mania.
So still almost a year that they've been keeping this up,
Yeah.
which is like, again, with the bloodline, you have so many people that get kind of thrown into that story and everything. This was just between like two guys. I love that. I felt like we had a lot of fun with this.
Nah, yeah. So then the next match after that was Nia Jax and Bayley.
Yes.
What would you rate that match?
You're just gonna go right out for ratings, huh?
It was
It was aight,
good.
right?
It was straight.
It was.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
I wasn't a big fan of it. I don't think.
Personally, I wasn't a big fan of either. If I had to give it a rating, I would have said probably a 2.
There was a lot of, not sloppiness, but just like execution on a lot. There was a lot of botches, I guess, if I want to use the term, right? If I want to use the wrestling terms. But like with the Samoan, with the sunset flip, with the Hurricane she attempted to do. There were so many things with timing was like terrible. Not terrible, but like it was just I was like, that was my reaction. Dude. I was just like, fuck, dude. Fuck.
Right.
And then Tiffy coming in trying to tease the thing. That was fun.
That's a good story moment right there. That was, and they've been playing that off really well with Nia and
Oh,
Tiffany.
and how they bumped the ref.
Oh, yes.
That was honestly the best part of the match is how they bumped the ref.
That was actually really, really cool.
That's a good bump.
That was
ref bump.
extremely clever.
I enjoyed that a lot. That was probably the only thing I enjoyed out of that match.
Yeah.
No, just like honestly.
No disrespect, but
And I was like, how is anybody gonna follow up after that Hell in a Cell
oh my
match?
goodness. That is always like a real fear, just having to follow anything great that goes before you. I mean, even in school, like someone nails a presentation, you're like, I don't want to go next.
Yeah. You're like, oh, can I really, just knock it out the park as much? But I feel like it was Bad Blood started here with the Hell in a Cell, and then after that match, it kind of came down here, and then we had Damian Priest versus Finn Balor.
Yeah.
That kind of got it up a little more.
Yep.
That match, in my opinion, I would have honestly preferred that match second.
Yeah.
Switch those two. Because after their match was...
After their match was that the presentation? Triple H's presentation?
Oh, yeah, the crown jewel presentation.
Yeah.
And then it led into the Dirty Dom match.
Yes.
But let's talk about Finn Balor and Damian real quick.
Yeah, let's do it.
I thought it was a fun match. It was good. Again, I just think this was just like, even though it was a filler, I feel like it was a much, how do I make this make sense? So Bad Blood was a filler pay-per-view, but like it was a much stronger filler pay-per-view because you notice how there wasn't a lot of title defenses. I don't even think there was a title defense the women's world champion and the
Yep.
women's WWE championship.
Was that it?
Yeah, because IC title wasn't defended, United States title wasn't defended, world title wasn't defended, and WWE Universal wasn't
And
defended.
no tag teams either.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So
Wow.
it definitely was a filler pay-per-view, but it's like how they like Bad Blood, right, was a Kingdom Hearts spinoff, and how people say because it's a spinoff, it doesn't really matter to the story, but the creator says that even if it's a spinoff, the stuff that happened in that
It's still canon.
is still canon.
Okay. I mean, that's one way to look at it.
That's how I saw Bad Blood.
I kind of see it just as a, hey, we used to have this thing. We've got a lot of like big blood feuds right now. This is a great place to kind of, air them out.
Yeah, it was like a good gimmick for it,
Exactly.
But like that's how I felt because again, we haven't seen Bad Blood as a pay-per-view for a long time.
oh, what was it? 27 years?
Yeah, so it's like for me when I see WWE do stuff like that because of the past when they would, it'd be lackluster. You know what I'm saying? It really wouldn't live up to the name,
Right.
Like Fastlane's supposed to be the Fastlane. What? And you're having like I don't know, like whack ass matches on Fastlane that's supposed to be the pay-per-view before WrestleMania.
Right.
So it's just like for that type of pay-per-view or PLE to come out of nowhere and it still be a very like entertaining show,
Yes.
an important show and crucial show, ending some. It was still filler because it was a transitional pay-per-view where a lot of feuds were done, and now we could start building to WrestleMania.
Yes. That's the thing. It's freeing up a lot of people for the big WrestleMania, season that's coming up. I enjoyed it. I think they did a good job in playing off on it. But yeah, you think back on it and it's like, man, everything I have as an example or as a sample size from Bad Blood is for you before you were born.
Yeah.
So, the wrestling style has changed. What you enjoyed watching has, changed from way back then to what you have now. So having something new and fresh, I think really helps you out and going, all right, this Bad Blood pay-per-view or PLE, I'm never going to get that one right. This Bad Blood PLE is going to be something that I can actually look forward to now going into the future because they just gave you your first sample of it.
Yeah. And for me, it was good. It was a straight match. I'd probably rate it like a 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah, I was going to go 3.5. I feel like it was what you would expect out of these guys put into a, hey, this is the big blow off match. Go out there and, destroy. They did a good job.
Yeah. So then they had the presentation of the Crown Jewel Championship. Triple H really didn't go into too much like detail on how that championship will be defended
Right.
or how it will be treated. I think that it's probably going to be. I think it was honestly just WWE's way of giving Saudi Arabia a championship instead of a trophy.
Got you.
And that's what that's going to be moving forward for Crown Jewel, maybe. Or every time, or maybe it's defended every time they're in Saudi. And then when it comes back to the annual, it'll be another kind of where they got to defend it with whoever,
I don't know. It left a lot to speculation.
Yeah, I was like, okay, cool, but it's a good looking bout.
Right. And I do like the concept of the two people that'll be facing off for it.
Yeah,
But then it's like, what happens afterwards?
exactly.
And it feels like there's just that void right now. It's just unanswered questions.
I mean, it is what it is, dude.
Right.
I'm just excited to watch some banger matches because
Yeah.
at that point, if champions are still the same, leading up to then, it'll be Gunther versus Cody Rhodes, and then it'll be Liv versus Nia Jax.
all right. I don't have any problems with either
Shit,
of them.
what if Tiffy even like?
Don't tease that. That's actually
I'd be so mad if she cashed in her Money in the Bank on the Women's Crown Jewel Championship. That'd be such a waste.
That would be very interesting.
Or maybe she cashes in on and wins both.
Maybe, but I feel like they finally got the titles where they want them.
Maybe, I don't know. I'm just
right. It's speculation. It's wild and out there, but
just throwing shit out there.
Right, but it's keeping you guessing, right?
Yeah. And then after that, we had the Dom hanging up in a shark cage match between Liv and Rhea Ripley. That was a fun match.
That was a fun match.
The finish was kind of weird. So Dom falls out of the cage. I was seeing him, and I'm like, is he gonna really like fall forward?
Right, the way he was leaning out of the cage. I was having a panic attack.
And when he did, but then he was hung up. That was so funny. And then getting beat up like a pinata, and then Rhea Ripley coming up to the ref and be like, "Hey, let me just handle it. Hey, I don't blame you." The ref says it. Go ahead, do what you got to do.
Right, you deserve this.
Yeah, you deserve this. All right, boom, starts whacking him. Then she gets attacked by Raquel Rodriguez, and then right in front of the refs, then the ref, calls the bell. Rodriguez does whatever to Rhea, and then lays Liv on Rhea anyway.
Right.
The pin, and just stands there like, like
people were a little confused about that part.
Yeah. So other than that, yeah, it was a fun little match.
Oh yeah.
It was cool. Liv retains, so is what it is. I wonder how long they're gonna keep her as champ.
I don't know, because I feel like Rhea's got to be the one that takes it off of her.
Maybe.
Right?
It don't gotta be.
It doesn't have to be, but it feels right, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But hey, again, they've done a great job in like making everything twist and turn and just, Are we frozen?
Yeah, we're frozen on the screen.
Oh,
here.
look at you!
Look at my face. That is terrible, dude.
That's a handsome dude right there.
Can you shake the mouse and see what's going on here? Technical difficulties, people.
Yeah. All right. Let's see.
Bro, you didn't even do nothing. Just press. You just shuck it around. Press something. Like I don't know. Just press something. See if you could press something. Your computer's dying.
Yeah.
Acting out. So again, I guess no video part today, guys.
I apologize.
But this is why we do the backup recording. We record twice.
That's because
we're
we're
at the same time.
that darn good.
Yeah. So, all right. Outside of that, we end up having what matches? What were we on?
We were just finishing up.
The Dom and Liv.
Right.
So yeah, what would you rate that match?
That match was a 4-star match in my opinion.
Okay.
It was entertaining.
Yeah, I would definitely say. Yeah, I would say it was a 4-star match for sure. Hit key points, settled differences without settled differences. Like obviously this is still going to continue the storyline.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see where it goes. When do you think Liv will lose her championship?
I'm going to say, and this is just a guess. I honestly don't know, but I'm going to guess Royal Rumble. There's my guess.
I think she's taking a Mania.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I think she'll take it to Mania for sure. Especially because they just brought in Raquel,
Right, but let's see.
Mania's in April.
And I think Royal Rumble is going to be like 1st of February.
Yeah, and unless she defends the championship, if she defends her championships on PLEs moving forward, I can see her losing it at Mania, because then there's no PLE in January. You go straight to February, which is the Rumble.
Right.
And then Mania.
All right. I don't know. I don't know.
After that match was the main.
The main.
So then we had Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu is nutty.
Yeah.
And I was telling the kid while we were watching it, how crazy it must be for Jacob. And like a span of like 6 months being on like the indies, working MLW, to now being immediately plugged in as a core important member in one of the hottest storylines in pro wrestling in the last decade,
And then plugged in right into the main event.
Yeah, like
of PLEs, and like, wow, did those lights get bright for him real quick?
Right. So that was a good match. That was fun. Like that match made me feel like it was wrestling in like the 80s or 70s or something. Like if you guys go and watch back. We watched it in class recently. It was Midnight Express versus
Rock and Roll Express.
Rock and Roll Express. And for like a solid like first 3 to 4 minutes, the crowd is going bananas. And these dudes have not done nothing. They did the tag. They're just getting over tags. That's all they were doing. And like the crowd was going nuts. That's how I felt when this match started. Gave me that same energy because people were live. You know, boom, Solo tags in. Cody goes to tag in Roman, and Roman just takes his sweet ass time. Ooh. Comes in, and the crowd is going crazy. Crazy. I was like, damn, this is so good.
It's moments like that where you just look at the people that are in the ring and you're going,
bruh.
Man.
Bruh, it was good. It was a fun match. Jimmy returned.
Yes.
They helped, the new bloodline try to jump Cody. Then Roman and Jimmy help out, clear house. Now it's only a matter of time that Jey Uso kind of comes back in, So it's cool that they're forming back together this bloodline versus bloodline thing. And it's cool how they're just the way that they're doing it. Because, like, people weren't sure about where the storyline was going to go afterwards.
Yeah,
and now it's starting to pick back up, and now it's starting to be like, damn. You were like, how could they even drag this out anymore?
Right. We're like, this is still the hottest thing in pro wrestling.
And it's still doing freaking amazing.
And how did they add the little exclamation point at the end for that storyline?
They had The Rock pull up, bro. Dang. He didn't say a damn word.
All he did was give the eyebrow.
Gave the eyebrow, crowd went bananas. He did 3, 2, 1, boom, and then his music plays, does the little fucking throat slash crap, and walks off.
Out skis.
It was something else.
Now, all that being said, as you said, that was a much better PLE than you thought it was going to be, or that you gave it credit for. You thought it was kind of just going to be filler. Now, that being said, after watching the whole thing, do you think that this definitely earned its spot as a reoccurring?
I could
PLE?
see it for sure if WWE stays to that point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't mind it. It's the first time in a while. So, I mean, it all depends on whether or not they bring it back.
Right. It's true. But all in all, what are you going to score Bad Blood 2024?
First of all, I'm going to score the main event match.
Oh, yeah. I forgot we didn't do that.
I would say it was 4.5.
4.5?
Yeah.
Yeah. Once again, I got to agree with you. I would say maybe not perfect, but dang, I enjoyed the whole match.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. So now to answer the question you asked me.
Thank you.
I would say I would rate Bad Blood as a whole as 4 stars.
Dang it. I was going to say the same thing. Come on, man. We can't be always agreeing.
Yeah, man. Really good PLE. It exceeded my expectations.
Absolutely. And WWE actually, there was actually something really cool that happened after the PLE. I happened to pick it up on social media. But they have this random, like, fans footage of a brawl that ends up, like, breaking
Oh,
out
yeah.
backstage.
Yeah, Kevin Owens jumping Cody Rhodes.
Which
Kevin Owens turning heel. But then the way that they did it was, like, it was just out of nowhere. They just knew that fans were going to be around. They were like, why use production? Let the fans be the reason why this news gets around. I thought that was a really cool way.
That is something
to kind of like.
That's something new by doing it old school.
Dude, it's clever work, man. It's clever work.
It's goosebump inducing, man.
Yeah. So, yeah, man, that was Bad Blood. Let us know down below what y'all thought about Bad Blood, dude. I thought it was good. It was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Gets me excited to see what's gonna continue moving forward, especially with The Rock coming back.
Yeah.
This is gonna be nutty, man. WrestleMania Vegas is gonna be one hell of a mania.
Another Another great Mania.
So yeah, the Vince doc.
Oh yeah,
Let's touch on that quickly, briefly. All in all, what are your thoughts and opinions on it? Like straight up raw.
Fantastic docuseries. Felt like you were watching a true crime documentary. You know, I felt like I was watching something like some big thing about like a serial killer or whatnot. You know, it's going through their whole lives and everything. They framed it really well. And it really kind of gave me a big look more historically into the business. So I appreciate that. But at the same time, does it make you feel some kind of way?
Most definitely.
Like, it's definitely uncomfortable, especially when you see everything that got thrown at Vince McMahon, whether it, you know, all the, everything that happened, whether it be just how he grew up, you know, going from what sounded like literally dirt poor, to creating a $1 billion company, and all the flaws that he had along the way.
Yeah.
And to see how single-minded he is.
Yeah.
He is obsessed with move forward, it's just business. I don't think that man could ever take something personally, is how they've portrayed it. And it definitely was a different mindset that I never think that people could reach.
Watching this documentary was more of, I was looking for like body language, mannerisms, how people were reacting to questions and how these questions were being told and said. And just basement, like accusations being asked to Vince when they had him. And just see him like do little things every time he would say a certain thing because he felt weird about it. But then comparatively to seeing him talk about something he was like proud of, and he was up like that and, you know, in like that. But then every time something, it was like awkward, or, you know, maybe like for example, let's say when they're talking about the Owen Hart thing, right?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like, you know, the show must go on type stuff. And then he says something, or someone says something, and he just like, after making a statement, like immediately.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's not normal because you're not doing that.
Right.
And yeah, again, how closed-minded he is. I can get it though. I think a lot of it just stems back to shit that happened when he was a child and never dealt with. So, like, to me, I think Vince McMahon is the prime example of not dealing with trauma that you've experienced, or accepting certain facts, or accepting certain things that have happened, and just holding on to them forever and acting out in other, you know, terrible ways sometimes. So I think that's what I saw. And the biggest thing that stuck out for me was, and this is all I'm going to say on it, was when they asked the people that they asked about what would Vince McMahon's legacy be. And the only person that was able to say something was Tony Atlas. And maybe everybody did say something at some point. You know, maybe they were just like, but it took them a minute. But maybe they did come up with a answer, and it just never got showed. But to me, the biggest thing that sticks out with that is how how long it took them to come up with that answer.
Yeah, that was very interesting.
Right?
Oh, legacy. That's a great question.
You know, and the two people to me that stuck out the most was John Cena and Undertaker. Where John Cena literally stood there and was like, I don't know if I'm the guy that you should be asking that question.
Right.
And then Undertaker. Like, Vince McMahon's biggest draw.
Right.
And he can't, like, have, like, a split something. Even if it was just like, best promoter.
Right.
At least he said something. But the fact that it was, to me, that just stuck out the most.
Yeah, that was definitely very interesting. That whole documentary was a little bit difficult for me because I would say my weak spot emotionally is watching strong men cry. It gets me, and it makes me very emotional. So that documentary, just like watching it like that too, was just it was hard at points.
Yeah.
Now you said you were watching out for body language and things like that. Was there anyone else's body language that kind of stuck out to you, or were you really just kind of just
I was only honed in on Vince.
got you?
Just because of everything that was going on recently with the the court case and stuff like
Right.
that, and those accusations.
Makes sense.
And then for him not to pull up after it came public,
Right.
like that would have been a perfect, if you're not guilty, you're already in the process of making a documentary,
Where
Like-
previous stuff has come up.
right? Now you have an opportunity to kind of speak on your name. And I know if I didn't do anything,
You'd have pulled up.
I would have pulled up.
Even
Even if they brought it up and they asked about it, even if it's the most white collared response, the most, it's something.
Yeah, that investigation is ongoing, so legally I'm not allowed to speak on the matter.
Yeah, but I'm not, giving them some bullshit. I'm not the person that they blah blah blah.
Right.
Let's move on.
Right.
Even if, but to me, ghosting, doing all that shit,
Right.
screams guilty in my head.
Does not look good.
So it's just, it sucks. I thought it was very informational. I saw a lot of people on social media talking about how, oh, this is stuff that we already know about, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, they're covering stories that are probably the biggest stories in the history of the business.
Right. Almost destroyed the business in a couple of different ways.
So, of course, they're going to touch on those things. But the difference between all the other documentaries, all the other shows, and all the other things that touch these same situations is that you're not hearing from the boss's mouth.
Right.
You're not hearing from Vince. Now Vince is actually speaking on these things, and now we're actually hearing because he keeps everything close to his chest.
Right.
So he's not public. So it was cool to see what he said based off of what all these other people have said.
Right.
So I thought it was still very, very well. And I'm curious to see if they do a follow-up or something,
Yeah.
based off of the course stuff. I don't know, but they did amazing on that, and I thought it was really well.
You think they could, after all these court things go on, they could just like release a secret seventh episode?
Maybe.
Maybe.
You never know.
They've been either way. These docuseries that Netflix has been dropping, that WWE has been dropping, that has been happening, have all been must-watch TV.
Top-notch shit, dude.
Right? I think the last one was for Bray
Yep.
that we watched.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Becoming Immortal, that was so...
Oh my goodness, that one was tough too.
Yeah.
But I love him. I love them. Continue making them, please.
Yeah. They do really well. So yeah, that's my... All in all, what would you rate that documentary 1 out of 10?
1 out of 10, that'd be a 9.
A 9?
I'd watch the whole thing again,
Yeah.
probably twice.
Yeah, I would definitely say a 9 too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely a good documentary. I felt like it touched a lot of stuff. I think it showed a lot of things. And that's really it for me. It touches all the checkpoints I look for when I want to watch a documentary.
Yeah.
Especially if it's on a business that I'm trying to be in, if it's on a business that I grew up watching. Hell yeah, I would want to know that information.
Yeah. I agree, man. It'd be like watching one about Walt Disney.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah, dude. So let's get into these questions, dude.
Yes. The 1 year podcast questions. You want me to pull them
Yeah,
up
pull
on my
it up
phone?
your phone.
All
My
right.
phone's dying. My phone's always dying.
Got you. All right. So you shared, I shared it.
First question comes from
Billy Yaman. Billy. We love Billy. All right. He asked, what is one thing you feel is going right with the pod, and how can you build on that? Also, what is one thing you think can be improved with the pod, and what can you do to change it?
Okay. All right, so reread me that first
So,
half.
yeah, the first half is what's one thing you feel is going right with the pod, and how can you build on that?
I think the one thing that goes right, that's going right with the pod right now is, I think the consistency.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest thing. you know, because Kid and I have natural chemistry where it's like we could sometimes just come into this with no game plan, just hit record and just go.
Right.
And then we bring on guests. You know, we think about other ways to like expand. You know, we grew. We were just audio at first, and now we're trying to do video. You know, and now I understand that doing video is the way to go. So right now, I think to answer that half of that question is knowing what's working, right? Like, how can we continue to grow? How can we get views? How do we stay, you know, a decent, you know, credible podcast? And a lot of that is doing video stuff, you know, and just putting it out there, being able to market it. We got to market it more. You know, we don't market it enough. All we're doing is just posting it to the story when, you know, when it drops. We're not dropping clips. You know, we're not dropping stuff in the middle of the week to help push it. We're not dropping stuff on, you know, social media, TikTok, all that stuff. So we could definitely promote it a lot better. And I think if we probably promote it a lot better with video, I think we'll start to grow and increase in our numbers. So that's what I feel for that one.
That's a really good answer, actually. And then he says the second part of his question is one thing you think can be improved with the pod, and what can you do to change that?
Okay, so I pretty much touched that too. Then yeah.
It's kind of the same question repeated over, but like the positive and the negative aspects of it.
Yeah, for sure. Is there anything you would like to add to those?
I would say one of the things that I feel is going right is just our learning about how to do this stuff. Like slowly learning, hey, this is how we're going to manage the wires just so they don't continue going and cutting out on us, you know?
Yeah.
We're learning a lot about how to have a studio without having a studio. We've done pretty good with having to travel with the pod equipment.
Yep.
And try to make it the best pod that we can, no matter what our location is, and just work with it. And I feel like we've done a great job with that. And I hope that we can continue to bring the pod stuff to live locations, because those are my favorite ones that we do.
Yeah.
The environment, the energy just really kind of grabs you and puts you into that moment. So that's really, you know, I want to be able to name exactly every single one of these chords, buttons, and, you know, everything that's on this thing. So if we do need to get a replacement one, it's as easy as I know what that is. And I've already got one ordered.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me, it's management of all of our stuff. We've done great about it, and I feel like we're only getting better.
Yeah, and I think probably the best thing would probably like start to create a team. You know, like you know, like instead of doing it all ourselves or all myself on top of all the stuff we already jiggle, right? Or juggle. Jiggle.
All the things with jiggle.
Yeah. But with all that stuff, I think it would help lessen things a little more on our end.
Absolutely.
But yeah, there's always different ways. I'm always trying to figure out ways to help improve the pod for the most part.
All right. We're going to go down to Adam Salzar,
Adam?
who has been on the podcast once before. We love him. He says, dream podcast guest, and what would you ask them? Go ahead, Monty, because I already know who you're going to say.
Oh, yeah, Hardy Boys.
Absolutely.
Hardy Boys.
Easy.
Jeff.
Get.
Can you see me? Hey. So, Jeff. Matt, I mean, like, what do I got to do? Be low-key tweeting. Like, do I have to, like, someone got to do something, please. Please.
Yes, nicely.
All right, let me get myself together.
Am I allowed to be back on the pod now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the Hardy Boys.
Oh, what would you ask them?
Just like, what was their journey like?
Yeah.
You know?
Which is...
Like, what was the toughest part? What was the toughest part? How the fuck y'all got through that shit?
May I ask you a question?
Huh.
How much of their story do you know?
I know a little, like, a fair amount to the point where, like, I know that their mom passed and that, you know, it was just like them kind of growing up with their dad. And I know that, and then their dad ended up passing. And then, you know, I know that Jeff had a lot of like drug addiction problems. and went to rehab a few times. I know about the incident with TNA. Yeah, and then I know about, like, obviously in recent years, Jeff getting arrested again and all that stuff. So I feel like I know a fair amount of Jeff's end of stuff.
Right.
Not too much on Matt's end. I know about the whole, like, the Alita Edge thing kind of being work shoot. But yeah, not too much on Matt's end, but like I follow enough. I feel like I know fairly enough for Jeff Hardy.
Gotcha. All right. I was curious because I kind of know the story of how they got in and everything like that.
Yeah, so I'm not sure about, like, I know that I remember watching a documentary like that. But like it was they would sneak in and stuff like that. I know when they debuted they weren't even
of age.
Yeah, they were teenagers.
Right.
But yeah, I know that they snuck. They did a lot of, like, weird stuff back in the day.
They did stuff that you could get away with back in the 80s and 90s.
Right? Like, I wish you could still do that shit now.
Right? Oh, man, I feel
Sounds
like
like so much fun.
and the thing is, I got only a glimpse of it.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, it's terrible.
But yeah, the Hardy Boys, and ask them about their journey and things like that.
Yeah.
What
about you?
It's hard for me to say. I would personally, honestly, the one person that I would love, it would be my dream person to meet. So having them on a podcast and being able to ask them questions, it would be my favorite person, and that would actually be Jackie Chan.
Okay.
The way that he did all of his stunts, the way that he became kind of a director, a stuntman, a coordinator. Man knew Bruce, had met Bruce Lee a couple of times and doing stunts for him. I think you would also very much enjoy that because of your creativeness in videography and editing and things like that. Because I've actually watched a lot of video essays, I'll say, YouTube stuff, where it shows how he would create a movie where you look back at it nowadays and, man, everything still looks so impactful. And then you watch an action movie from today and they're skipping all the impact parts because they cut it.
Yeah.
The fight scenes don't look like anyone's hitting each other anymore. John Wick has done a great job in, like, rechanging that and things like that. But there was a while where action movies were just like, cut, and no one could actually see the action.
Right.
So for me, Jackie Chan, I loved just about all of his movies. I think it would be a very interesting learning experience, and I'd get to mark out a little bit.
Hell yeah.
I ain't gonna lie.
Hell yeah. Cool. Thank you for the question, Adam. Yes. Let's go. Let's get another question in there. All right. I think we got enough time for about maybe 2 more. Let me see. So the last 2 questions.
Okay.
And we're going to hit on this podcast.
On part 2 of the 1-year anniversary.
It's going to come from our lovely neighbor, Tim Peters.
Ooh.
And Tim asks, who's one team, alive or dead, you would love to, or you would want to fight in the ring and also team up with?
Aye.
Hey, yo, Matt, Jeff, how about you guys come to the neighborhood?
Drink.
That ass, bro? Come on, man.
A little bit.
Out here trying to oversell shit.
It's my floor, so I'm not worried. It's kind of peachy.
No, it's watermelon, Arizona.
Oh, all right. Well, watermelon-y then. I don't do artificial flavors a lot.
It's not made artificial flavor. What is your answer to that, though?
The Hardy Boys.
Oh, yeah? You too?
Hands down, bro.
Okay.
That was my first favorite tag team ever.
Okay. And the last one.
The last one.
For this neighborhood pod. Questionnaire. Not questionnaire. Comes from our lovely neighbor, once rivals.
Ooh.
One half of the collective, Devin Justice.
Wow, yeah.
He asked top 5 neighborhood matches from Monty and from Jay.
Top 5 neighborhood matches.
Mm-hmm.
Whew. That's actually a really hard one to pick a number 1 for. I feel, because I've had a lot of fun just being the neighborhood.
Yeah.
I gotta say, one that for me that it does shine and stand out is the ladder match, because that was something.
So you gotta rate them from
I
to
know.
5.
I know. I'm trying
talk
to
about these in the ratings.
Oh boy.
Think about how you're gonna rate these.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I was not ready for this question.
And look at the goddamn camera.
Dude, I'm trying to think. All right, I'll think like this then.
Thank you.
Favorite match from the neighborhood.
Bro, number 5, top 5. So
Right.
from 5.
Dude, I'm trying to remember.
Start from 5.
I'm trying.
How,
I really
how
am.
can you not remember?
I'm going through each match. I'm like, man, I really like that.
I can name like literally maybe my top 4 already.
I never think of them as top.
Yeah.
And even
Well-
then, I
well, it's
would say
asking.
maybe the first one. If you can name your top 4, I would say start shooting away because I'm still trying to organize how I would even think of mine like that.
It makes everything hard, bro.
I wasn't expecting that at all.
Well, maybe you should read the questions.
You like to make them a surprise sometimes.
Yeah, at least for me. I don't
Well, yeah.
care if you read them.
All right. I'm trying to be genuine with my reaction.
Think about the question.
I
kid.
am
Think
thinking.
about the question. Stop talking.
I would say number 5 would probably be against the Hispanic mechanics.
Okay.
A lot of fun on that one. Number 4 would probably be the first time we won the APW Tag Team Champions for obvious reasons.
Right.
Number 3 would be against the Haven. Despite everything that happened in that match, and that's the only reason why it has a lower rating. Despite everything that happened in that match, had a great time. Number 2 would be MSP.
Okay. Which one?
I would say the second one.
Okay.
Because at that point, I think we had a little bit more under our belts,
Yeah.
and thusly we were able to learn while we, on the job training.
Yeah.
The on the job training felt a lot more, wow, okay.
Yeah.
And then number 1, because again, same thing, it was just so much new stuff going on, would be the ladder match.
Okay. Cool. So, number 5 for you is Hispanic Mechanics.
Yes.
Number 4 is.
APW Tag Team Champions for the first time.
Number 3 is.
Haven
Number 4. Or number 2.
was MSP,
And number 1.
ladder match.
Interesting. Okay. So, me. Number 5 would be the ladder match.
Gotcha.
Number 4 would be the first time we worked MSP.
The one up in Maine?
Yep.
Yeah,
Because for that one, they reached out to us.
that is true.
And again, like, we were still so new. I was still really, really green. And it was a personal match. Like, for me, it was a personal thing.
Yeah.
So that is number, what?
4.
That's 4.
Yeah.
Number 3 would be when we won the APW Tag Team Championships. Number 2 would be the street fight. And then number 1 would be when we won the Chaotic Tag Team Championships.
Yeah, that was very, very special too.
So number 5 was
Yeah, for you, the ladder match.
ladder match with the collective.
Yep.
Number 4,
For MSP neighborhood
number 1.
number 1.
Number 3,
APW.
Tag Team Championships the first time.
Yep.
Number 2, street fight
Street
with the
fight.
collective. And number 1,
GGC.
GGC. Chaotic
Winning
Tag Team
tag.
Championships.
Right. Yeah, those were all great matches. That's the thing. I've been having so much fun doing neighborhood stuff and just letting this roll. I can't deny that it's a blur, but at the same time, every moment feels important.
Yeah. Hell
So-
yeah. And it's been one hell of a ride, dude. It's been one hell of a ride doing a lot of things that I don't know. I would have never thought we'd be doing, man.
Man, just imagine this all used to be a dream to us.
Nah, big facts, man. But again, it's not without the people that continuously support us. And again, it's us keeping each other in line,
Yes,
making
that's
sure
very
that we're doing everything the right way. So it's just a lot of teamwork, not just one person. So a lot of mechanics to get the wheels going.
Yeah.
And that's what we've been doing and just continuously do. So yeah, that was so dope.
Those are some good questions.
Hell yeah. So big thank you to everybody submitting those questions. If you guys want us to maybe do once a month, maybe do once a month, at the end of every month, a neighborhood mailbox. and you guys send us questions.
That's actually.
And we'll do that last Wednesday of every month.
There we go.
Neighborhood mailbox, baby. That's how we're going to do it. You guys send us any questions y'all guys want. Keep it appropriate.
I was about to say. we'll still kind of go through them, filter out the ones that we can do.
Yeah, but again, big thank you guys. Make sure you're following. Make sure you're doing all that good jazz. Okay? I hope your day was better watching, listening to Kid V and Monty Ariez bitch at each other sometimes, but it's okay.
Yeah.
We're learning. Kid got to understand this.
We human.
Kid got to understand this. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And that's
I
why
get him too.
Well, again, we had to change the studio up a little bit today.
Man, Kid, drop those plugins.
Well, you can find me on the Instagram, the Facebook, the X/Twitter, ProRezKidV, that is Rez as in wrestling, and on the TikTok as red_head_J. Hit him up,
You
money.
can find me on the Instagram, the Facebook, the TikTok. That's Monty Ariez, MANIARIEZ, baby. And on the X/Twitter, it is Aries_Monty with a S. You can find the neighborhood on Instagram, the number 4, THA, the neighborhood, and on Facebook, THE, because I don't know how to change the goddamn E to an A. Leave me the hell alone, guys. The neighborhood. And on the X/Twitter, it's PW neighborhood, man. Please, guys, don't forget to enjoy the present. Enjoy the moments. It's going to make it a better memory. Real shiz.
Right? Dude, I love the fact that you're putting that in there.
Yeah, man. But go ahead and show a lot of
Love and energy.
with any situation that comes your way. Approach it with one motto, 2 goals. Show up
And show out.
Yes, sir.